So thank you all for being here. We talked a lot about AI. We heard Dr. Leon talk about the today, the past, the today, and the future, and the excitement of interventional cardiology and how we're really incorporating a lot of actual AI into guiding us through so many of our procedures. It starts with structural heart. In the early days, Samir, you couldn't do valves without having all the imaging and all of those things, and that kind of a guidance for us in the lab. Imaging guides us, but now we want to use AI, an augmented intelligence, an external force to help us make our job better. You're using it in your health system. We are too. What's the future?
I think the future is the young people, first of all, because they need to, we need to recruit, have good people who are interested in this thing to lead each of the field for AI, because it is a tool, as I said, so you cannot have one person leading all the AI efforts. So, if you have a structural imaging person, in the echo lab, they are different than the CT lab, than the MRI lab. So I think it is super important to create teams where they all work with the same tool, with a different expertise or different perceptions that what really they need to do. So that's number one. And number two is that this cannot be done, as you know, that the AI talent from the engineering side is also very limited. Mm-hmm. And especially nowadays, it's even more limited because there are not that many experts. When we recruit people from very good universities with AI, they are not really experts. So this is a real challenge. And so I think the globalization is necessary. So if you can use the talent that is available anywhere in the AI world, and so industry partnering with different kinds of institutions that have the AI expertise is important, because they may not know the healthcare side, but they are experts in imaging side of AI, like how the Tesla and things like that work, that they can see the road and tell you. So the same concepts are there for this. So yeah. I think these two elements, if they're there, and then from the healthcare side, we have to share our data. So the one challenge Cleveland Clinic and everybody else has is to say that our data are very precious and we want to monetize the data. But in order to monetize the data, we are a little bit conservative in sharing the data. So this is where we have to find the right balance, like how we did study with Oxford to say that 2,000 patients, we share the data of our CT scans.
We did too, yeah.
So this is a useful thing because this helps to grow the field, but you cannot monetize that, immediately cannot monetize that information. So this is where I think from the people who monitor the data or people who are owning the data, we have to have committees, we have to have some kind of a system that we can benefit from the data. At the same time, we can share the data.
Yeah, obviously, as somebody who loves data, I see that the entire power of AI is based on data, except that the data is unorganized, and that without clinicians and physicians and those experts in the specific areas, the programmers, the data scientists are lost. And I think that is really why I believe that kind of collaboration is so critical. We're going to hear from Dr. Kinney of what she's set up with AI tools in terms of scheduling patients for cath lab and really taking the burden off of a lot of busy work that we are doing to focus on the things that we absolutely want to do. But without a clinician basically guiding those data, it doesn't work. Deepak, you've been looking at data for decades. Where do you see this going? And what was your take from Marty's amazing, unfortunately he had to leave because we're running late, but what do you think is the future?
Well, I mean, that was a brilliant lecture and two great lectures here as well on AI-related topics. I think AI is extremely powerful, as everyone knows. To me, it's like any tool. It's like when the internet came out. I remember that, and there are people that said, oh, this is going to be awful, it's going to be end of the world, it's going to be end of libraries, all sorts of bad things will happen. But, that hasn't been the case. It's like any tool. It can be good or it can be bad. It's really how you use it. And I think AI is the same, though on a much larger scale, and I think it'll disseminate and change things much more quickly than the internet did, which itself was revolutionary. But I think, what you said, we have to keep on our physician hat. That is, we can't just take that off. There was some interesting work that came out of Mount Sinai. It was led by Josh Lampert, one of our electrophysiologists, that took an off-the-shelf, FDA-approved, commercially available way of diagnosing hypertrophic cardiomyopathy off a 12-lead ECG. Dr. Kapadia mentioned these products are out there. So FDA approved, but when we tested it in the Mount Sinai Health System, it turned out that it didn't perform as well as it did in the data that led to its FDA approval. And this is, so that isn't just specific, I think, to that particular product or disease state. I think there's a larger lesson there. A lot of these FDA-approved algorithms, you can't just take them currently right off the shelf and use them. You have to test them again, calibrate them again in your own healthcare system, which takes time, effort, and money, as a matter of fact. So, I think we have to adopt new things, new technologies as they.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. I mean, I think that's a really, really important one. And with that, and I do want to go to you, Dr. Antoniadis, because what you told us a little bit about the plaques makes me very nervous, because many of us are using that calcium score of 0 and telling the patients it's all okay, so your cholesterol is a little bit high.
But I'm lying.
You don't have anything else, we'll wait for it. So I think that's a really big question, and we'll come to it. I see that Dr. Kinney, because she's going to have to jump back into another case,